Welcome to Thoughts and Teens in Focus. I'm your host, Patricia Shrim. And guess what? I'm at the Barclays Center, meeting and greeting with people out here. You know, we have a children program within the community and a television program that you could enjoy. We deal with community information. We deal with elected officials. We deal with every person that deals with youths in the community and how can the community help our youths. We are here and we are inviting you to stay tuned, have fun with Thoughts and Teens program, know what is going on in the community, listen to your elected officials, and we also have our cultural presentation by youths of the community. We have fashion shows, we have dancing, we have creative arts and craft. So if you want, you can bring your children to Thoughts and Teens, and we are located for our practice session at Get Set Nursery School. Get Set Nursery School is located at 2031 Snyder Avenue. There we meet every Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. Bring your children. We have lots of fun. And just remember, next year we'll be having our Prince and Princess TV series. So if you want your child to be a prince or a princess on our TV show, just come and join us on Saturdays at Bedford Snyder at our practice session. We love to have you there. We love to be with children. We love to share our views and our news and our interviews with you, our community. Have fun, community. From Haiti, but he always say he's from Linden and he eat pepper pot and bread. So I know that you are a working person within the community and fighting against those with the crime, and our community has been shaken, has been destroyed because of the rapid rise of gun violence that is destroying our youth. Parents are hurting, children are afraid to go to the street. Every program they want to go, it's just a gun might be here. We are faced with a national crime that is beyond the community because bullets don't have a name. It's people who pull the trigger. What will be your vision to working together with community leaders to eradicate this rapid rise of gun violence?
Thank you very much. Let me say that I'm very delighted to be here. This is such a wonderful day, wonderful event where all of us from different ethnicities, we come together to celebrate, the culture of the Caribbean people, a rich culture. But in terms of the crime and violence in the community, probably you were aware of my background, my track record. I spent more than 17 years working with young people, youth in the community, providing them with positive activities to help them become positive people. And I believe that the crime in the community is a disease, is a big crisis affecting everyone, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your position, regardless of your social, economic, and political situation. It is a situation that requires that all of us come together to find a solution to this problem. Police officers, elected representatives, and community leaders, clergy leaders, we should come together to make sure that we create more positive activities for our young people. We should create for them also job opportunities, and we should mentor them to instill in them the respect for themselves and the respect for others. And in addition to that, we from the government, we from the community, we have to work with the families to ensure that the parents, they are capable of providing to the young people, to the children, what they need. Because if there are problems in the family, those problems will affect directly the children. And also when the children, the youth, they are affected, the community will be suffering.
I know we are always blaming on the youths, or blaming parents, or blaming the school. And without spiritual understanding in our school, which has been eradicated completely from the minority schools, what will be your focus within the community? How to get schools to be back involved, churches to be back involved with schools?
You say a wonderful thing. because the youth or the children, they spend more time in the school than home. And you should probably know that I'm a strong advocate for schools. I give funding to all the schools in my district to create positive activities, after school activities, sport, music for the children, and other for the children to become proactive and positive citizens. And I've been doing that before I was elected, and I would continue to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Eugene. I know I can always get a good answer from you, and thank you very much for
Thank you so much.
being here with us. After having such a wonderful breakfast at the Caribbean morning, breakfast carnival, we're here with the elected officials as they share their views of their concern of the community and the work that they're doing in the community. I have Mr. Alan Manzo, who is the assembly person for district, assemblyman of the New York State Assembly, and he's going to talk to us and tell us about what he's doing, what his office is concerned with, and how he can really help to eradicate the rapid rise of the gun violence that is affecting our youth in the community, and what program or progress can be done to get parents involved in their children to prevent this rapid rise of criminal activity that is taking our youths away from us. Mr. Manzo, thank you for being here. Thank you. It's Thoughts and Teens and your message.
Thank you for asking me to speak on probably one of the most critical issues facing people of Brooklyn today. And I have to tell you, this is an issue that I've thought about for the past 40 years because I used to be a teacher and assistant principal in the schools in New York City and dealt with those issues as an assistant principal. And I know that the one thing that we could do that would have such a tremendous positive impact is if we were able to provide the services that our children need. We need to have after-school programs, we need youth programs, we need youth centers. All the money that is being wasted in the criminal justice system, if we had 1/10 of that to open up a youth center in Brownsville or East New York where kids have a place to go, would just be a tremendous help to us. After-school programs. There's no reason in the world why we don't have an after-school program in every school in the city. It's just amazing to me that we are so willing to provide funds for all of the services that are needed, the district attorneys and the jails and the prisons, but we don't have the money to provide for our youth that they're entitled to. And that's not only a great disappointment, but it's something that has to be corrected over the next couple of years.
Glad you talk about the jail and what thing, but what is being said that the jail is a business and more youths they get inside there is more bigger the business get.
Well, actually, in New York State, I think the number of prisoners in New York State has actually declined, but in many parts of the country, it actually is a business. In the truest sense of the word, there are private companies running the jails and the prisons. This is not the case in New York State. So if you have a private company running a prison, they're interested in prisoners. They're not interested in justice. And this is a development which is absolutely outrageous in my view. Jails should not be a business. They should not be profit-driven. And fortunately, we don't have it in New York State. But who knows what's going to be. We just have to be very vigilant and fight against it. But the other thing that's, getting back to the violence, you know, despair causes people to become alienated. And if you have good programs in schools, if the kids know that they have an opportunity where they can go to college, get a job, participate in society, there'll be less attractiveness to the alternate lifestyle, which is gangs and violence. And we're just not doing what we have to do in the way of our schools. And in spite of the fact that our mayor thinks he is the education mayor and he's improved the schools, I disagree. I think we have done a terrible job with the schools over the last 10 years, and we've got to fix it.
Yeah, because would you support to have spiritual education back in the schools so that we can have a better knowledge of children, youths getting knowledge there?
Well, we really never had spiritual education in schools, but there's a difference between spiritual education and values education. I'm certainly in favor of schools teaching values. There's no reason why a school can't teach about right and wrong. We used to teach a long time ago. We used to teach about civics, about what it means to be a good citizen, how to treat each other. Those things are universal. Um, we can't actually teach spirituality. That's for the church, the synagogue, and the mosque. But we certainly teach the positive values that makes us all good citizens.
Well, thank you, Mr. Manzel, for giving us this information. And I know I can depend on you to reaching out to youth. What would be your advice to our parents? You know, they're the ones who should take up the mantle. And
Well, many times during the 30 years I spent in the schools, parents came to me and asked, what should I do about my son and daughter? And to be honest with you, I said if I knew the answer, I would write a book and I would retire very wealthy. There are many, many different answers. Every child is different. But the most important thing is that parents have to be involved in their children's lives. Parents are far more influential in their children's lives than they may think. Friends are important. There's peer pressure. But the parents have a huge amount of influence. You need to know where your child is going. You need to make sure your kid is doing homework, that he gets enough sleep so when he goes to school that he's able to participate at the full extent of their potential. When parents don't get involved in their child's lives, that's when things go wrong. So that's what I urge parents. Know what your kids are doing, know who their friends are, know where they're going, and you may avert a tragedy.
you know what, parents, sometimes we want to blame the community leaders, but you know, all initiative is taken from around the breakfast table. If we start at breakfast table, we will have a better community and able to serve our children, and parents get more involved, attend your school board meeting, attend your community board meeting, which you do not do, and that is important so that you can know what's going on. Thank
Hillary
you, Mr.
Clinton famously said that it takes a village to raise children. She was 100% correct then, and it's still correct now. It takes all of us to make sure that the kids get straight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being on our Caribbean break this morning, and we're here with Mr. Abe George. He is a candidate for the Brooklyn District Attorney in Brooklyn. I know that you have interest in Brooklyn and the situation that is going on in Brooklyn, the crime, the rapid rise, the youths are being died, the parents who are being gunned down. People are afraid to give information. We have our Brooklyn president here, but what would be your input to make a massive turnaround to eradicate this child, because a child slave murder that is taking place? And what would be your mission to make Brooklyn a better community?
I think that's a great question. And first of all, I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I've been a prosecutor for the last 8 years at the Manhattan DA's office. I left 2 months ago to run for Brooklyn DA for the very same reason that you talked about. Brooklyn has led the city in violent crime from 2005 to 2012. We've led the city in homicides and shootings, and we need to do more. We need to be more innovative about fighting crime. One of the things I propose is developing an intelligence unit where we can coordinate with the police department, with community officials, with the schools, with the court system to gather intelligence. The Brooklyn DA's office right now, I believe, is taking a step backwards. They're not taking advantage of existing technology and existing information to fight crime. Information is the way to stop crime. Getting information, having the DA's office have proactive solutions to fighting crime. You can't stop and frisk away your problems, and that's what we've kind of been seeing in terms of how we're going to handle this particular situation. So if we look at not only violent crime, look at identity theft, look at cyber crimes. The Brooklyn DA's office is far behind that. They're not able to handle it. And part of my campaign is going to be about innovations, new ideas, new energy to stop crime. Because no mother, wherever she should be in Brooklyn, should worry about her children when she kisses them goodbye in the morning that they're not going to come back. And I'm going to fight for that. I'm going to fight for the people of Brooklyn.
Thank you very much for giving that information, and good luck on your return, because we need to stop the rapid rise of this crime that is. Be afraid to go out. I'm afraid to go out anyway, because I'm afraid a bullet has no name.
Of course. And that's
only person that pulled the bullet, who pulled the bullet, not the trigger, but the person behind the trigger.
one of the things I've also talked about is a citywide gun task force to go after these guns. We have all these guns coming in from other states, but yet there's no citywide prosecutorial body to go after these guns. So that's another idea. What we need are not politicians that have been in office forever. We need young ideas. We need young energy, new ideas to help combat this type of crime. Okay? It's a pleasure talking to you. Have a great day at the parade. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much, and thank you. Good luck on your Yes, we are here at the Carnival City, the Carnival breakfast morning, and I'm here with Miss Mercedes Narcissus, she's running for the city council still, I think, and she's a member of the community. She will give us some idea about her views and sharing her views of the concern of the rapid rise of the crime violence that is overriding our community, especially in her district area. There is a rapid rise, and what would your progress be? What would your advice be? How would you handle this situation to eradicate the violence within our community?
First and foremost, I will be talking to you, Ms. Strand, because that's one of the things that you're good at, talking to children and make sure they get the service they deserve. For me, it's about after-school program, good program to keep the children engaged. And we're talking not only after school, but the people that are doing great work in the community that really have children in mind, because they need a place where they can really ventilate themselves, they can talk, and they can really get something to do. Because without, like right here today, we're talking about culture. And culture is it is imperative to have culture in your life. And then even Dr. King in 1964 mentioned that we need culture, we need education and culture for our mind. So that is important, and we have to put that in the forefront and let our children know that we love them and have a place that they can go and they can work, they can really create, because a lot of just children in the community that causing different kind of things, violence of everything of a sort, they really have a lot to produce. They really have a lot to give to the community. We just have to engage them and make sure they use their energy towards something positive. And then working, like one thing I always talk about, how we having people in our community that retired to come back and talk and educate our children. Those are sometimes, it's not about money. It's about how the community work together for the betterment of the community. Get them to be part of the community. Let them know that they love and we are willing and ready to work with them. That's what I have to say about that. And I think that can cause a lot of decrease in a family. Family is important. Before anything, as a parent myself, I know it is important to catch your children at home, to know what they're doing. Some people said I'm lucky, I call it blessed, but at the same token, we have to work with our children. I can tell you, I'm part of the community. I have 4 beautiful children, no 5, I adopt 1. So they're all doing very well. It's just not because by accident, but it's the work, it's the commitment for parents. Even your single parents, you have to sit down and have dinner with your children. The same way we have here, we come to a culture to enjoy, and the kids can enjoy, but be productive at the same token. So that's how I have to say. If you have anything else to ask me, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. But this is what I believe the children need in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mercedes. Thank you for sharing. I can always depend on you to share your views for the community and be a concerned citizen, making our community safer, and especially safer for me, and making our youth more productive in the community. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
We are at the Carnival break this morning, and we are with the Queen of Jamaica and the Queen of Eastern Parkway, who is part of this instrumental work of the Carnival, the Caribbean Carnival. Eunice Clark, as everybody knows, is the mother of Jamaica, the mother of the Caribbean, and making the Caribbean Carnival her birthright and her name. She has placed her name there to make it work. So Eunice is not in office now, but she's still a vibrant community member, and she will give us some advice and on the rapid rise of the crime that is taking place in our community. I know when you were in the office, it was not that eradicated, but now it's coming. It's not even older folks, but young children are being. What are your views, and how would you be able to solicit some help? Or some
I think first of all, we have to organize our community in a better way. We have to make sure that every child is our child. We have to make sure that we have places where our young people can go that are of interest to them. We don't always think that what we think a child should be interested in, that's what they're interested in. So we need to be able to get some young people to work with the older folks to design and to come up with programs in which they are interested. Each of us need to be parent and grandparent to every child in the street. We can't wait to see a child misbehave and say, well, if it's not my child, we can't correct them. We need to know that it takes the village to raise the child. I believe the whole concept of cops and kids. I think children ought not to be afraid of the police. They need to learn that police is there for their protection. But unless you're doing right, you don't want to make them your friend. So we need to really design programs that are going to be more friendly to our young people. We need to have adults who are role models that young people can aspire to be like, and we have to make them know that all things are possible. That all things are possible. That you don't have to brain power and money power is not necessarily the same thing, but if you have brain power, you can earn money power. You see what I mean? And so it is very important for us to help our young people to understand that we have to put first things first, and we have to constantly be their guide and their help.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. I know that I can depend on you to give some advice to the community, and thank you for being with us.
And I know the stop and frisk is a real big problem among electeds, among communities, and again, it has to do with how do we create confidence that we are not being abused, and that the police is there for our protection rather than for our demise. So in many ways, we just need to keep on working, work around everything, and make sure that everything works for the community.
Okay. It's the carnival time. We're having lots of fun. I have a member from the Lions here joining Tots and Teens, and she will be able to talk on their advice or the Lions' input of stopping the rapid rise of crime that is affecting our young people in the community, and what can the Lions group do to support such an activity that will help our young people within the community.
Hi, my name is Roxanne Persad. I'm the secretary of the Canarsie Lions Club, and we encourage the community members to come out and join the largest service organization in the world, which is the Lions Club. Within the Lions Club, we have the Leo Club, and we encourage the youth of the community to become involved. And to become involved in the community, they can become Leos. Leos assist in every possible way, every community service, and it's a way of them growing as individuals. It takes the kids off of the streets, it gives them constructive things to do, and it makes them grow as human beings. We encourage the kids in high school to come out instead of just walking the streets, hanging out in the corners. Come and join the Leo Club. Go to community centers, assist elderly people, help people to clean their yards, clean the streets, beautify your neighborhoods. That's the way that you can become involved. We encourage them to join any service organization within the community. We want everybody today, Labor Day, to have fun in the Parkway, but we want everybody to be safe. And when at the end of the day, when the parade is over, when you go home, think of how you can give back to the community. And again, one way of giving back to the community is by coming down to the Canarsie Lions Club and joining the Leo Club. If your parents could come down with you also. Just any information, send us an email, canarsielionsclub@gmail.com, and we'll respond to you. We'll give you all the information, but community service is the way to go. Parents, if you want to get your kids off of the streets and give them something constructive to do, let them join a service organization such as the Lions Club. Thank you.
Thank you, Roxanne. That was very informative for the community, and we need to have our young people out there more involved in youth programs, more involved in positive youth programs. Positive youth program like yesteryear. These Lions Club can make a difference in everyone in the community and in everyone's lives. Thank you once again for being with us.
Take it. And remember, you're a Canarsie Lion. Come out to
Oh, yes, I'm a runaway lion.
Thank you.
All time again, once again on Eastern Parkway, and we are at the breakfast morning of the Carnival Committee. And we have a special person who is involved with the Carnival Committee, Miss Sybil Chester, and she runs a very big organization to help within this community. We know, Sybil, that you are a wonderful person and doing a great job. I know you will give us some information about him, and at the same time, we want to know your views on the rapid rise of the crime, the violence within the community, and how can your company, your organization, be a part of moderating and dismantling this rise that has taken over our youth in the community?
Well, first of all, now I consult for Bacardi USA. We will be sponsoring the VIP lunch at the other end of the parade route. Last night, Bacardi, the VIP tent we hosted at the park behind the museum. It went extremely well. And Bacardi is very proud and honored to be part of the Caribbean community. As we know, a lot of the residents, they like rum and coke. So Bacardi is their choice of rum. However, regarding the violence in the community, it's and indeed a sad, sad situation. What we need to do is to educate our youths and to have recreational areas where they can come and learn how to love and live together with each other. And we have to look to the politicians too to help to make a difference. Bacardi as a whole, we have a long-standing commitment to working with youths. And right now, we're trying to, seeing that Bacardi is kind of new in the community now, we're trying to formulate ideas on how to help to combat this situation with the youths. But something will be done. And having said that, we also support a lot of educational programs, right, for the youth. And again, it starts right there. Education is key. And with that comes respect and understanding.
I know that you said about educational program. A lot of people might be hearing, they may want to know how can they make contact to your organization if they have youth groups that they would like you to help sponsor to give some sort of assistance to make them a better person.
Well, what we do, we'll sponsor like Jackie Robinson. And they have a lot of scholarships. We will do Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. That's huge. So it's better for them to. We would not deal directly with the youths because the nature of the business is alcohol. But we'll deal through these foundations: Medgar Evers, Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall.
Thank you very much, Sybil, for that information, and thank you for having you on the camera, sharing your views and your ideas within the community, because it takes the community to raise a child. And if we